everyone, it's Sue. I'm back today with a big mess, but what I thought I'd do is I was looking through my stencils, and for some reason, I don't know why, I had put these in with my stencils, and it just got me thinking, why don't I decorate some of them ready for journals? So that's what I'm going to work on today. Is I'm just going to some of these little white paper sacks, and these bigger ones, they actually have like a flap that go on them. I'm not sure so much, I was thinking like more of an open sack, so these ones I may not use, but these. And then I started thinking, then I've got that Tim Holtz die, what is it called? I don't know, it's a paper sack anyway. Is it called that? Gift card bag, it's called. And the code for that is 662687. I'm not sure if it's still available. I've had this for quite a while. So I thought, oh, well, I might cut a few of them out. And so I've got some miniature ones as well. So I've cut some out of just your photocopy paper, your printer paper, standard 80 GSM. And then I had some 176 GSM card, which I thought I'll cut a few of those out as well, just to get some little cute ones done. So I've cut a few of those out prior. So I just haven't glued them together yet. And then I had all the extra bits here, and I just thought, well, maybe, so this is in the card weight. Maybe I could cover some of the scraps with book paper and cut some wildflower dies out to decorate as well. So I thought, I don't know what that's going to look like, but I have covered this one just for a bit of extra strength, because I don't have any paper colored or anything to have colored die cuts. I just thought I'll give this a try and see what that's like. So that's why I've put the paper on the cardstock, just to strengthen it a little bit, rather than just have the book paper, which might be a little bit fragile. So I'm just going to, I did have a book out here. What have I done with that now? The dictionary, is it? Oh, here it is here. I might just glue a few more pieces onto the cardstock, and then we might cut some wildflowers out. So I'm just going to glue these on and maybe start cutting a few dies out. So I'll just do that. Okay, so I've cut some out. These haven't cut out. Oh, they're coming out now. They're a little bit, not sure why they haven't cut out as easily as they normally do. So this one I may not be able to utilize because I'll have to sit and fussy cut some of it out. So normally I run them through a couple of times and I didn't. So that's obviously what the problem is. I just did them once. So I won't worry about that one. I'm going to put that aside and I'll fussy cut that out later. So I've got extras here. I don't think I'll be needing them all today, but I will keep them and cut some more out. So this is how they've come out. They're quite cute actually in the book paper. So I guess what I'm trying to do is just keep these fairly monochromatic. That's what my thinking is. I was inspired by a lady on Pinterest called Jennie or Jennie Atkinson. I will try and find her her pin and I'll put it down below. So when I found these bags, I remember that I had pinned this particular image at one other time. So I thought that's what made me think I'll decorate these bags. So with these wildflowers, I'm probably better off using them on one of these bigger bags because these will be, I mean, I can cut them down, but I think they'll suit these bags here, the bigger ones, so much better. Okay, so I'm going to so I want some book paper, but I want something that's wide enough to go all the way around. So I guess what I'm thinking is these will go in on a page glued down. So whether they're glued down on 3 sides with a pocket at the back and then this pocket here, or whether I just glue them down completely. So I'm not worried if I want to put a band around the middle as a focal point. So it's not going to matter if it doesn't go right to the back. So I'm just going to grab a bigger book. So I've got this really old Russian book and I have no idea. Looks like it's 1947, but it's, look how colored it is. So I'm thinking that it's quite fragile. So I'm going to take a page. Oh, it's very fragile. I'm going to take a page and we'll just see if we can work with that. So it's not going to go all the way around. I mean, I could even just do it that way, which will take it around the back a little bit further. So I'm just going to randomly tear, and it's not taking much to tear this at all. And maybe if just tear down the center there. And then I can tear this side, and then I've got another band for another one. So I just want to wrap it around. Just have it pretty much in the center of the sack. I'm just going to wrap it around. So that goes all the way around. It's not, as I said, it doesn't matter, but it's going to add a little bit more strength to the bag because they are only thin paper. Okay. So I'm just going to glue that down. So I'm sorry about all the noise in the background if you can hear that. I've got the windows open. It's quite warm here today. So the neighbours have been out and they've been mowing and drilling and doing all sorts of stuff. So I apologise for the noise in advance. But it's just my neighbourhood. Okay, so I probably should have, didn't think of that, did I? Added some glue in here. So it just doesn't have to be stuck down completely, just so it's sort of secured a little bit. All right, so I'm going to just prepare another one as well. So I'll glue the front there first. I'll just add glue. So yeah, just having a bit of a play today, and I mean, I'm starting to get back into my journal making, which is really exciting because I haven't made a journal for quite a while. I've just been busy with life and the business and all that sort of thing. So just been really keen to get back into it. So I've got a few journals, excuse me, that's just me trying to reposition my chair. I've got a few journals in mind. So these will be used in them. Okay, so we have a couple here. I might actually glue a couple of these little sacks together as well, and we can utilize, maybe make a couple of those as well. So I'm just gonna, this is a great little die. As I said, I've had it for so long, and it's ridiculous because I just haven't used it, and I've just recently refound it again and started using it. So my glue, find a pin so that I can, okay. So yeah, I've just refound it, rediscovered it lately, and it's so cute, so tiny. Look at that. It's my hand, and it's, so I'll do a couple of those. So that one is in, it's just in copy paper actually. That's quite, here's one that I folded, and it's in a bit of heavier weight card, so we'll do one of those as well. There we go. Okay, so we've got a couple little ones done, and so these are the bits off the scraps off these pieces here that I put the backed with some card so that I could cut these out. So I'm just going to utilize some of these, I think. I'm just thinking it too much, so I'm just going to stick it down. So this is where, as I said, this isn't going to match at the back. It's not going to meet. So this one will definitely be stuck down onto a page. This one will do. So we'll just see what we come up with. Okay, so that we've got 4 started. Let's see how we go with those. Just put them aside for the second. So I'm just thinking I might add some lace, maybe some ribbon. I might actually do a bit of stamping, so I probably could have done that first of all as well. So I'm just going to use a bit of script. I'm just grabbing the first one I find. Let me see. There we go. So I'll just do that. Oops. So this is old paper in distress ink. Okay. And I'm just going to grab some lace. So I've just grabbed some lace and some seam binding. So I'll pop that to the side. See what we can do here. Lace have I got? So I'm just going to pull a few out. As I said, I want to keep these fairly simple. I'm just going to audition a few bits and pieces. That's really pretty. That's doubled over, that one. So I'll take it around to the back. So I'm just going to cut approximately how much I need. And then I'm going to cut it in half, just hope it doesn't fray too much, which, I mean, if it does a little bit, it's not really going to matter. I really like that though. I'm just thinking I'm going to pop that there, and then I've got some this seam binding, so I could even bring it around, actually, which is what I might do. I'm going to glue this to here and just bring it down off that book paper a little bit. And I'm just going to wrap that around to the back. Stick this down. Nice. I like the cream and the white look. I know once upon a time it was certainly something that you didn't do, but I really like it. Okay, so I think I'm going to bring this around and maybe tie a bow. Let me have a look. So I'm going to put a bit of glue just to hold that in place on the back. So remembering it doesn't matter what it looks like on the back, because this will be stuck down onto your page. I'm going to make one side longer than the other, because I'm going to tie the bow to one side. So I think I'll add a little bit of glue just to only problem with that is it does come through the seam binding. I'm just going to tie it off just on the side here. So quiet here at the moment. I'm really enjoying the peace and quiet. Katie's at Endeavour, and James is having a sleep, and I know Maddie's upstairs doing his own thing, studying, I think. That's why I turn the camera on, so I don't get the opportunity to do it often. So, I mean, that is quite cute on its own. Do we need to add more? Actually, don't know that we do. I wonder if I've got like you could add a charm or something from the bow, maybe. Let me just have a look and see what I've got. What have I got here? Just even some of these little things that I've dyed with alcohol ink. And a bulb pin, maybe. Let's have a look at that. Go like an antique gold or something. What have we got in here? No, there's some in here. This is a fiddly part, getting it in there, isn't it? There we go. I'm leaving that as that. I think that's quite pretty. Very dainty. We could add, you know, something like this, but I think sometimes less is more, isn't it? Let's just have a look. No, I'm just going to leave that as it is. So that's one little bag. There we go, one little bag with charm. So that's one. So these are really easy. I don't have to sort of think too much about them. What have we got here with these little ones? Need some, although you could do wider ribbon. And what about, I've got all these tangled up now. And we could trim this off. No, it needs a little bit of colour or something. Okay, I'm thinking that I quite like that lace on there. So I'm going to glue that down. Actually, am I? just thinking, yes, I'm going to glue this one down. I think from memory, Jenny had used this back band here as a tuck spot as well, which is something that you could do. Just stick these down, and then I think I may even add like a nice label or something to this. So I've got these amazing labels from Cleveland Creations, and these might be a little bit big for the tiny sacks. Yeah, they are a little bit, I think. But I can use them on the bigger ones, but I'll put the link down to Cleveland's Etsy page. So they're too big for the little ones. So, okay, we'll pop them aside. I think I've got some stamped images. I do have these as well. So probably could utilize those. I've got everything out now. So much for keeping it simple. It's always the way though, isn't it? So let me just rearrange a few things here. So these are all just stamped images that I've stamped, and some are fussy cut, some aren't. But I tend to, if I feel like not doing anything, I will take these and sit in front of the TV at night time and cut them out. So I've got this little tray here with all bits and pieces, and then I've also got this in the bottom. So I've got words and all sorts of bits and pieces here. And then I also forgot that I had these. So these may even go nicely on the bigger packet. Let me just have a look here. Actually, that's cute. I think I like the lighter color actually. And maybe I could even just do like a number or something. So I know I said at the beginning I wanted to do maybe more monochromatic, but I'm changing my mind. So let me have a look at this. Okie doke. Add a little bit of ink, I think. I've started using these little makeup applicators for the finer bits. I just find it's so much easier to use than the bigger applicators, particularly because I go like a bullet a gate at things and end up tearing all the fragile little bits and pieces. So these work really well. I'm just using the same Distress ink old paper that I used to stamp here, just to try and keep all the colours together. I might just add a little bit of ink around this. So it's a similar sort of colour actually. Just to highlight some of those edges. So how has everybody been? Hope you're all keeping really well. We've still got some of our Australian friends here in lockdown, so thinking of you all. Okay, maybe a little bit of cheesecloth. I'm not sure when this video will actually be going up. I'm filming a few ahead just so so that I'm on top of it. But we've had a bit of a week and a half, I can tell you. Maddie had his second Pfizer injection the other day, and we ended up at the hospital with him about 2:30 in the morning with severe chest pains, and he couldn't get his breath, and so we were up there from about 2:30 in the morning through to about 10 o'clock. So it was just a reaction, or not just, it was a reaction to the injection. But they ruled out anything sinister, which is really good. So it was just, they made sure that he was okay, and kept him there until things had settled down a little bit. He still has a little bit of tightness in the chest, but they've just said if it gets worse, he needs to go back. So he's just been resting and just been really tired, but he certainly is much better than he was a couple of days ago. So that happened, and then 2 nights ago we were up at the vet with Roland at 1:45 in the morning. No, it wasn't. It was that's what time we picked him up. It was about, I think it was about 10:30 at night. He was crying this really heartbreaking cry. Anyway, I thought, he just wanted to come inside urgently, so let him in. And I mean, he sleeps inside at night anyway, but he'd just gone out to go to the toilet, and this poor little man, he had this huge hole on his back hind leg near his bum, and it was just pouring out blood, and he was obviously in a lot of pain. We tried to have a look at it. We couldn't look at it. Well, he wouldn't let us near it, but I mean, he was just sort of, well, he wasn't even sitting, he couldn't sit. We got a torch to it and checked him out, and it looked really nasty. So we had to take him up to the emergency vet, because obviously no other vets are open, and he needed surgery, poor bugger. He'd had an abscess from a cat fight, obviously, that had ruptured, and they were concerned that it had ruptured into his stomach, so he had to go and have surgery for that. So then we were awake. We went and picked him up about 1:45, I think it was, and then like trying to get him settled for the night. So we've had a couple of really sleepless nights recently, but he's getting better now, which is good. It's sorry, the garbage truck's going past now. Yeah, he's getting better. He's still very sore, poor little bugger, but he's eating and going to the toilet and whatever, but he's dying to get outside. Sorry about that, the garbage truck was just so loud. Anyway, Roland is getting better, which is good. So but needless to say, we'll be eating Vegemite and day-old bread for the next month, I think, because of the cost of the vet fees. But anyway, you have to do it, don't you? Okay, sorry about that. Felt like he was doing the rubbish for half an hour. Okay, so anyway, not sure where I was at, but Roland is doing quite well now, which is really good. He's still in a lot of pain. He's got take about 2 weeks, they said, for him to heal properly, and he's not allowed outside for at least a couple of weeks. So we're struggling with that at the moment, because he normally goes outside, as I said, to go to the toilet. So we've got a little box and that for him now. He has started using it, which is good, because I was concerned that he might just go inside, but he's not. He's a really good boy. So anyway, we'll get off that now. This is, hang on a sec. I'll get this video done eventually. I don't know whether you heard that or whether I've been able to edit it out, but Maddie's yelled at me at top note. He wanted to pinch all the blueberries out of the fridge and just wanted to make sure that I wasn't using them for something. Oh my goodness. Anyway, now the cat and the dog were going to fight, so let's get on to this video. So I've done this cute little one, so sweet, and then this one, I'm going to get on to try and do another one. Just remembered I had this lace here that will be going into the shop eventually. It's really quite nice and dainty. So let's use some of that. I'm trying not to think too much about what I'm doing. Just sticking some bits and pieces down just for some decoration. So I'm just going to add a tiny little bit of glue. Stick this down. I'm going to have a look, put my glasses on and see which side is. It's hard to tell. I think this is the good side. I'm just going to tip that around the back. Once again, as I said, this is all going to be stuck down onto a page, so you're not going to see all this unfinished pieces here at the back. So I hopefully I'm going okay. I'm just trying to get my videos a little bit more consistent. So as I said, I have said in a previous video, I do my lives generally, well, normally they're on a Friday night, but if I have something on the Friday night, I'll do them on the Thursday evening, and then I'll upload a video, just a tutorial or craft with me or a journal with me on a Sunday and a Wednesday, and then I may have, if I've had a chance to do some more, I may even put some extra videos up during the week. So that's just they will just be extra. You know, now that I've cut these, I mean, these will be beautiful to use on something else. I'm not actually loving them so much on these because they just tend to blend in a little bit too much. Although having said that, if I do a couple maybe, actually I don't mind that now that I've had a look at it. Just have a look here. Maybe just some sprigs. I don't actually mind that now. So I might even just glue those down and then just same thing, add a label possibly. Let me just have a look. So they blend in a little bit down here, but that's okay. I'm going to put a label down on the bottom. So I'm just going to do it, just stick it down and be done. I need to have a day where I just sit down and cut out a heap of different wildflower dyes, leaves, all that sort of thing that can be utilised that are ready to go for tags and pockets and that sort of thing. So it is very monochromatic, and that's sort of what I wanted in the first place anyway. And I'm just going to add a little label or something here. Excuse me. So these are just some postmark stamps that I've done onto scrap coffee dyed paper. I do actually have this stamp set in my shop as well. I'll endeavour to remember to put the link down below. Not promising anything. And I'm not even going to put any cheesecloth under that, shock horror. I'm just going to ink around it a little bit. Don't want it too dark. Okay, I don't think I'm meant to be doing this video, so I've had 2 phone calls now. I'm going to finish this bag off and hopefully finish this other little one that I had prepped. And then I think I'll maybe call it quits and give up on the getting an uninterrupted video done for the day. I've just got my glue is clogged up again. So these are really cute. I'm really loving how these are looking. Really nice and feminine. Quite simple and understated, aren't they? So that's the 3 that I've done so far. And then I did actually think I might leave this little one. Just another one that I thought I'd do on the bigger size. I like the bigger size because you can fit so much more into them. Might just use a doily, and then I found these stamps that I've had for, I think I got these second hand, so I have never used them. But whoever owned them before has only used these 2. So I thought I'm rediscovering my stash, because I've rearranged my craft room, and I found all these beautiful things, which is disgusting because and I think that's what happens sometimes, is you get so overwhelmed, don't you, with things that you have, and then you don't utilize them. So I'm not sure how this is going to stamp up, because it hasn't been used. It doesn't have to be perfect. Probably would have been better if I had to put it on a block. Okay, so it's not great, but it'll be all right. We'll utilize it anyway. So I should have probably conditioned that stamp before I used it. I think this is two doilies. Add a little bit of script down here. Now the dog's barking. It's just a circus today, isn't it? So I'm going to stick that down. How am I going to do this? So maybe if I just add a bit of glue like this, I think might be the easiest. I can always come back and lift the doily if I need to add extra glue. I'm just going to trim that off the back. So this one could even be clipped into your journal if I'm not adding anything to the back. And I thought I might use some of these photos. Oh, I'm so sorry. This video is going to be chopped to bits with editing. James come roaring out of the room then, making a hell of a noise. So as I was saying, I thought I might use these are some Tim Holtz photos, so I thought I might. I find I don't use the photos so much, but I'm thinking that I might like to use her. Do I want to use her? Maybe I'd need a bigger one. I think I might use that one actually. And I've got this bit of lace left over. So I could probably use that. All right, let's just glue it down. Glue it down and get this video over with before we get more interruptions. I'm just going to put it on a bit of an angle, which is different for me as well. I normally like things to be quite structured and going up and down, but we'll live dangerously today. All right, so I'm going to put a bit of glue on this. Just randomly. Stick that down. So I was saying before that this, because I haven't got anything on the back, I could pin it in, but I'm now adding lace, which will be going around the back, so it'll be glued in onto a page. Okay, so that, I just had a heart attack then. I thought I had 2 bags stuck together. So that, and then I think I might even bring in some of this what do you call it, seam binding that we had used on this one. And leave this side a bit longer. No, this side a bit longer. Sorry, I'm just trying to think. I'm putting the bow over to the left-hand side this time. So I want to add a bit of glue along here just to keep it in place. And I want this side longer, don't I? This side longer. Got myself all confused. Just stick that down and then add a little bit. I didn't like, I mean, you probably can't notice it so much, but I didn't like how the glue has come through there, and the same thing here. So I've got some Tim Holtz quote bands. I might even put one of those on, so I'll have a look at those before I finish up as well. Just try and tie this off neatly. It's funny, isn't it? You think, oh, I'm going to get all these videos done and get all this sorted, and then everyone wants to talk to you or interrupt you. But that's life. Okay. I had one of my subbies tell me to tie the bow upside down. It ties a nicer bow, and she is correct. So I forget who actually suggested that, but thank you. Just trim the excess off there. Sort of manipulate it around a bit so it sits a bit better. See, that's much better. All right, so see, you can see the glues come through there. Now, what did I do with those? These may not suit, but I could also even, yeah, see, they've got the, it doesn't matter. I could put them on there without anything on the end. But I think I would have been better just tying the seam binding through that. So I'm going to leave that and possibly just put one of these pieces. Maybe even just another one of these. Let's have a look what this looks like. Just cut that down. ribbon's a bit crooked. Done very well at all with that, have I? I think that needs maybe some cheesecloth underneath, possibly. Just going to do it. Just do it and get it done. So the same with the cheesecloth. Once it's dry, I will pull away the excess. I've got way more there than what I need. I'm just going to leave that dry for a minute, and then I'm going to put another one on this one here. What do I want to put? Might even do something like that, maybe. Put it on. It doesn't relate to anything in particular, but that's okay. So I'm just going to add a little bit of ink. And then just stick that down. And then that covers up the glue that's come through that seam binding. There we go. And then this is pulling away. I'm just holding that tight because the glue's not, it hasn't dried yet, so I don't want to pull the cheesecloth out completely from underneath. Just so it's got a bit of texture just showing there. So I'm really happy with those. I'm really sorry about all the interruptions, and it's probably been, now the kookaburras have started. Oh my goodness, I am going to call it quits, guys. So I'll just quickly show you what we've done today. So we've done 4, so that's not too bad. I'm going to continue making a few more. Doesn't matter how much noise is going on around if I'm just making them and not filming. So these have turned out really lovely. I'm really happy with them. So I'm just making sure I haven't glued the bags closed. And then there's one little cute one, tiny little one. I'm going to go and probably glue some of these together and decorate. So these would be beautiful. Just, you could even put them in a separate pocket, although they have got that on the back. You could even put a bit of coffee dyed cardstock or something there for a writing spot, or it could just be glued on your page, used as a tuck spot, and then just put some little bits and pieces in there. So I'm going to head off and I'm going to make a few more, and I bet you everyone's quiet now that I do that and I'm not filming. So once again, I apologize for all the noise and all the carry on, and this video has probably been edited within an inch of its life. So, but that's my life. That's what happens here. So, all right, guys, look, take care. I hope you're all keeping really well. And until next time, I hope you get a little bit of crafting time in. Take care. Bye-bye.